What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Make Happiness podcast. I'm super stoked on this episode because we got Cooking with Justin. He literally built a brand up from nothing in the past 3 months. He's literally blown up and done so much really cool stuff. So it's going to be an epic one. Do you want to say what's up? Introduce yourself. Talk about who you are.
Definitely. Ian, thanks for hosting me, by the way. Eli, too. This is going to be a great opportunity. I'm very happy to be here. Cooking with Justin, that's the brand. I'm hyping different brands with, ideas that I believe in, different products out there that are just kind of fun and off the beaten path. My main goal really is just to have fun, just to cook, just to let people know that, you don't have to make everything from scratch. I mean, I'm throwing microwave veggies in there. I mix it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about just having a good time in the kitchen for real and trying to share that experience with other people.
Well, and I think it's cool that you're doing stuff like that where it's like easy things to make. I could just go to the grocery store, buy what you're cooking, and make the same thing. I don't have to have a lot of money to buy these really expensive stuff. So it's really relatable to everyone watching, which is cool.
I was gonna say that a lot of cooking things that you see, whether it be a TV show or some sort of online presence, it's usually someone with a ton of these expensive ingredients, expensive tools, or stuff that the average person probably wouldn't have access to. Or so I think that's pretty cool that you average man cooking or something like that. So
It's really funny too. You got a lot of really good jokes.
I just talk, man. I'm just talking. I'm just having a good time.
So I was curious, I don't know the answer to this question either. What was kind of the spark of it? Why did you want to start this?
So I guess back at Jefferson High School, I took Intro to Foods, Advanced Foods, Culinary 1 and 2. I mean, I at the time I was like, hey, I'm getting out of class to go cook and eat in school.
Right.
Which was always a blast for me, and it was always kind of fun. I kind of went to college, I'm sitting there making ramen noodles, frozen za.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to, eat whatever I can scrape by with. So I kind of put all my cooking, I guess, goals and aspirations on hold throughout that time because I was just trying to eat. But throughout college, I would make a lot of microwave veggies and different things like that because I wanted that quick, easy, side dish to go with whatever it is that was also
easy,
quick.
yeah.
And easy. So convenience was the name of the game when you're stressed for time and budget and all that.
Right.
So I think that was kind of fun. And then when I got a real job, or when I graduated and got a job, I was like, hey, maybe I should put some time into this cooking thing. So I've kind of been playing around with it, and
So
I think
a little bit more of your passion kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion of mine. It's so much fun to just get out there and cook something that's straight fire, and then give it to the people that you're with. It's a shared experience that everybody got to eat. Nobody's sitting there I'm not gonna eat that,
right?
Whatever. It's you can cook things different ways to please different people, or you can just cook them the way that you want. That's
the
fun.
reverse sear.
Yeah, the reverse sear. Yeah, man, the reverse sear is a great one. Check out the video. But I don't know, it's just kind of a good time. So, and over the last year, I would say I used to just Snapchat Cooking with Justin on Friday nights, and Snapchat was great, but I could never save any of my snaps. They would go to 20, 30 friends, and friends would get the same snaps over 3 different group chats and be like, I'm not going to watch this 5 times.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a good way to save it because half the time I would forget to save it from the story. So I never really could keep the footage. And then on Thanksgiving, I'm like, hey, why not try and get a Kingsford charcoal sponsor? So, because I was grilling a turkey and I made an Instagram on Thanksgiving. I started getting hyped up. I sat in my turkey chair for about 4 hours outside and watched the turkey cook.
Nice.
saying that now, man, it's what was this dude doing? But if anybody watches the show, they're going to see that. They're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense. This kid would sit in a chair for a couple hours and watch a bird cook.
Right.
So I don't know. And ever since that, I've just kind of been, working with different companies, DMing people, asking.
A lot of collaborating with other random little stuff and different products. I know it wasn't the first one, the Kitchen Caddy.
Yeah, I love the Kitchen Caddy. Forever my first, bro. The Kitchen Caddy is just kind of this, I call it the caddy of the kitchen because, it's a trivet, I think is what the technical term is. You can put anything hot on it. It kind of protects your table. It protects your tablecloths. But it's cool because it also stands up and then you can set it on the side of a pan. So, I call it putting a pan on a pan because then you can put the pan that's hot next to it. I don't know. You'd have to see it to check it out.
Yeah. Well, you have a couple videos too of them. What was your Instagram?
At cooking_with_Justin.
Okay. We'll link it in the description But
Sure.
yeah. I was curious too. I know right now we just touched on before we started recording, you have TikTok, which is a new social thing, but are you looking to get into YouTube or any of the other means, or right now you just kind of focused on Instagram and TikTok a little bit?
Yeah. Instagram's my main platform. I think it's the most professional one out there right now, and I want to be seen as somebody who can both do professional and funny. I like to conduct myself professionally, but I also like to have a blast in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And TikTok I'm kind of playing around with it right now. I threw a video up there a couple days ago, and I hit 1,000 follows in 5 days, and I'm like, man, it's taken me 3 months now to hit 1,000 on Instagram, but I think that there's I haven't done any research really on TikTok, so I don't really plan on doing YouTube or any of the other platforms. The reason for that is I film on my Apple iPhone, and I just love that. It's such a convenient device to just film everything on.
And it's just easy little quick videos.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get much longer than a minute. A minute is kind of my top clip. I did a poll for my audience on Instagram. I was like, hey, do you guys want to see more 2 to 3 minute IGTV videos, or do you just want to see 60 seconds and less? And they're like, hit us with the 60 seconds or less, because we love watching you, man. But
Would you think part of that is because our attention spans are smaller and everything is so instant, so people want to just watch it and then on to the next kind of thing?
It's the same reason I cook microwave veggies every now and then. It's convenience, it's quick, it's easy.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing carries over to social media in today's generation, where we just want to see, fast videos that you get your attention, you see it, you're like, that's great. I'm going to double tap it, move on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you think the difference is between because you said it took you a while to get 1,000 followers on Instagram, but only 5 days on TikTok. What do you think the difference is there?
And I don't really know, to be honest. I think TikTok is newer.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little easier to, I guess, break into the different niche scenes on it.
It's all the early adapters right now, so a lot of all those people are kind of building really quick.
Yep. And I figured that's probably a good place to be right now. I'm still playing around with it, though.
Yeah.
I think Instagram has a massive barbecue scene, a massive cooking community. And, it just takes time to really gain some traction into, I guess, a market that has so many people in it.
Yeah. Well, I've read, I don't know if it's billions, but I know it's definitely millions of photos get uploaded daily on Instagram, which is insane.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. I want to talk about earlier you said you wanted to balance, the funniness and the professionalism. So you have a professional job right now. You have the normal 9 to 5. And I was curious, do you use your cooking stuff as an outlet, or do you use it just because it's fun and it's different? Or, do you find yourself after a long day at work, you're just like, oh, I just want to go home, relax, make some food, enjoy myself kind of thing?
Yeah. So I love my 9 to 5. I think it's a blast. I have a lot of good times there.
Sure.
It's just different because, it's more of a corporate structure. So, you're more well-behaved. Well-behaved is the wrong term.
There's not as much freedom, though, or creativity?
But there is, but it's more focused.
Okay.
I guess. So, but when I'm cooking, it's all me. It's just my reputation. It's just me in the kitchen, and it's what I want to eat too. So I can kind of do exactly what it is I want when I'm, I guess, out of the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
When I'm in the 9 to 5, I still, my personality shines, it's there, but I'm very, I guess, goal focused and goal oriented when I'm there.
But your personality is the same, and you're still the same person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've kind of, when you start a new job, you're the new guy, so you're kind of hanging out and you're a little bit quieter than you will be normally.
You kind of have to figure out how things work around the new place.
Yeah, exactly. So now that I've been doing the corporate job for a couple of years now, I can be myself. I can just show my personality. I can, say funny jokes, but because I feel like everybody knows at the end of the day I'm going to get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's really nice to, have that network there. And then when I go home, it's what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Some days, you touched on, some days I do get home and I'm like, man, I'm burnt. There's nothing I want to do right now. I'm going to throw a oven pizza in and just chill. And it's funny because I've had 2 of those days this week. And when I get home, I've seen boxes from different sponsors, different people that I'm collaborating with. And whenever I get a box in the mail, I film an unboxing. It's just kind of a fun thing. I used to make fun of people who did unboxings.
That's funny.
But I don't know. It's just something about doing an unboxing and being the guy who's doing the it's just kind of fun, man.
It's like you're getting a present.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Christmas every time I see
Right.
a box at the door. So
Well, who doesn't like getting free stuff?
yeah, exactly. So like it's a blast to, get these things from these sponsors, and like I guess my job whenever I receive something is to, shout it out, show it off, try it out first, make sure I'm enjoying it.
Give the feedback, talk about, what does it do and what are the pros and cons of it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
That's
I don't know,
cool.
but it's a good time. So I like to mix unboxings in with cooking because it's just like my channel's thing, I guess. I didn't start this channel off thinking, man, I'm going to do unboxings and this and that. I'm going to have so many sponsors. I'm going to do all these different things. I'm going to rep brands. I just started it off being like, I'm going to maybe get a sponsor by Kingsford. But I didn't really know anything else, about the cooking scene or anything like that. So it's been really fun to kind of watch it evolve.
Do people at your corporate job know about the Cooking with Justin?
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
I've been walking around showing people. I've been hyping it. I showed both my managers a couple of weeks ago. So I was kind of keeping it on the DL just because I was still getting started with it. And then when I ended up partnering with Ren and Boss, the beef company, and I actually got, this 13 pounds of beef in the mail. I was
I saw that you had the dry ice too.
Yeah. Every box is shipped with dry ice. Fog machine. So, so like after that, I was like, hey, I'm actually going to stick with this. I'm going to really, put some effort into this. So I kind of told both my managers, I'm like, hey guys, I'm doing this cooking show on Instagram. Check it out. And they're like, dude, that's great. I'm just happy it's you who's doing this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And also with that, the beef sponsor, don't they have like a personal letter like of authenticity?
Oh, yeah, their certificate of authenticity.
Yeah.
It's just something that they throw into every box to let the consumer know, like, hey, this is where your beef came from. The ranch that you selected, the animal that you selected, the cuts that you selected are here, and here's our signature to prove it.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a nice, it doesn't feel like you're disconnected. It kind of makes you feel included.
Yeah.
It was funny. So when I filmed the unboxing, I read the certificate. I unboxed the beef. I did all these different things with it. And I threw it up in 2 or 3 posts, I think. And in the post where I read the certificate of authenticity actually did the best out of all of them.
Interesting.
It's like people were more interested in, I guess, that additional level of connection that certificate provided than what was actually in the box. And me, I'm sitting there like, hey, there's 4 New York strips in here. There's awesome flat iron steak. I cannot wait. So
I wonder, and part of it is probably because like we know obviously there's going to be the beef in there, but that letter was unexpected. It was different. That was something that you didn't even know about either. It was a surprise to everyone, which is why I think maybe they were excited about it. But that was cool.
Yeah, I was really excited about it too. Like, I'm gonna read this because why not?
Talking to you were mentioned when you started or talking with your managers, your corporate stuff. Could you see yourself kind of developing the cooking show and kind of having that become your main job, or like pursuing that, or do you see yourself doing it for a while, or kind of what does the future look like for Cooking with Justin?
The future of Cooking with Justin. Well, I guess I really haven't been thinking about that too much, to be honest.
I'm rolling with it.
I'm just kind of doing it on the side for fun right now. I really do enjoy my corporate job. I don't see leaving that anytime soon.
Right, and it's secure.
It's really nice to have that security blanket to, obviously prioritize on that job because that's paying bills, that's insurance, that's 401ks, like that's life.
Yeah.
That's a future, I should say. And Cooking with Justin is definitely a really fun side project, I'd call it right now.
Yeah.
And my main goal out of this whole thing is just to have fun. I've told that to my managers. They're like, hey, do you want to climb the corporate ladder? What do you want to do? Like, let's have this talk. And I'm like, honestly, my goal is to have fun. I want to not, sacrifice my own personal, freedom to try and climb a ladder. I really want to just be a guy who's kicking butt, having a good time, and, who really knows how to cook a steak. So...
Oh, that's cool. I really respect that too. And that's why I was excited to have you on the podcast, because I know you're all about enjoying yourself and doing, following things that make you happy and things that, are joking around with other people and sharing that same kind of experience of happiness. And I wanted to transition into a question about how you define make happiness. What do the words mean to you?
Make happiness means a steak with 7 minutes each side in a cast iron pan.
There you go.
No,
like it.
But real talk, happiness is really just about enjoying what you're doing, kind of a free flow of emotion where you just, I guess, do. And it really doesn't matter what your thing is. I mean, you could be snowboarding, you could be biking, you could be cooking, you could be fishing. I really think happiness is really whatever the individual person enjoys.
Right.
And finding that, I think, it can be challenging, but I think it's definitely worth it when you do.
And do you think you found it with the cooking?
Yeah, I do. When I cut into a steak or film a slicing video, those are a blast, man.
With those new knives?
Yeah, Hattori Kitchen, shout out. But yeah, I never thought anybody would watch somebody else cut a steak until I'm sitting there flipping through Instagram, doing my market research, as I call it, just checking out different posts of some of the big names out there. Mm-hmm. And I saw somebody just slicing this steak, and I'm like, this is oddly entertaining. So I'm sitting there watching that, and I'm like, I'm going to post some of those. And, like, they do pretty well. I mean, they draw people to the page. You can kind of see the business analytics side of thing on Instagram.
Which is pretty cool.
It's really nice. Yeah, you can see how your posts are performing, like if people are liking what kind of content you're putting out or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I'm mixing in, the classic fun cooks, kind of like I used to on Snapchat. Those are my usual posts. I try and do, like, an artsy picture every now and then, but I'm not a photographer by any means. I took intro to photography, but that was it. So I throw a picture up occasionally, but my main thing is, videos of just having a blast. And to, supplement those videos, I like to do unboxings to kick off partnerships with different brands. And I like to do slicing videos of steaks just because I think they're hilarious.
Satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
The internet has a lot of interesting, there's infinite little niches of video types of things that you can find, and if you can expand on that with other products or these unboxings that you do, that's exciting for a lot of different people. And so
and it kind of mixes things up too, from just Justin's cooking again.
It's
Justin's opening a box, let's see what's in it.
Right.
Or hey, let's see what he did with this steak this time. Did he hit a 150? Did he hit a 130? What's he going for?
Yeah, I always get hungry whenever I'm watching your slicing stuff, or I just get jealous. I'm like, dude, I wish that was in front of me right now.
So I was playing PlayStation with my brother earlier today, and he's sitting there. He's like, man, I haven't watched the episode yet. So he pulls it up. We're sitting there on the mic. He gets, 2 or 3 clips in, and he goes, man, I'm hungry all of a sudden. I'm like, you're welcome, bro. Come on over. I got a couple left. So,
do you want to talk about the new one we're going to be cooking tonight?
Oh, sure. So Easy Kebab is this kebab making, I'm going to call it a machine. It's kind of just, you just press it down, and it kind of extrudes the meat onto a skewer for you. So
cool.
It kind of is perfectly portioned every time. I've never used it. I've watched a couple videos on it, and these guys reached out, and they're like, hey, cooking with Justin, would you be interested in cooking with our product? And I'm like, absolutely, dude. Send it over. Let's see it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a pretty fun time. So we got Ren & Boss beef and Cal blending spices. We got all sorts of stuff that's about to get mixed into these kebabs. So I'm really happy to share it with you guys.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited. And we get to eat it out in an igloo, little snow cave.
Let's chill in a snow cave.
That's when we're in Minnesota.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of. It's the biggest record snowfall for February in, I think, existence. Mm-hmm. We have what was it? It was close to it's like
37 inches maybe.
I think it was more than that. I think it was close to 50.
Yeah,
was it really?
44, so
oh wow.
I don't know, but that doesn't include this snow we got yesterday.
Yeah, right. It just keeps coming.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the weather and all the snow we got?
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hype Minnesota cooking.
Yes.
I've heard so many people on the barbecue scene on Instagram. They're like, it's snowing out, or it's icy, or they post a picture of their grill and it's covered in ice, and they're like, caption it something like, can't wait for summer. Mm-hmm. And so I did a little, I guess I called everybody out earlier on my story. I'm like, hey guys, you see my grill? Yeah, it's covered in ice, but wait. And you can see the snow melting on it.
Yeah.
I lift it up, and I'm like, it's hot. There's no reason not to be out there barbecuing, even if it's 10 degrees out or negative 10. Obviously wear your hat, your gloves, and all that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the weather should stop anybody from enjoying a backyard barbecue.
If you like doing it, nothing can stop you.
Exactly. So, and I love Minnesota, and I love hyping that we're in Minnesota, because it's the greatest state, first of all. But, we get 4 seasons. We get rain, we get snow, we get sunshine, we get thunderstorms, we got all of that. Mm-hmm. I don't think you'll see me out there in a thunderstorm cooking, but
that would be pretty epic.
Maybe next
year. Maybe next year. I think I'll stay inside and just, hit the cast iron pan for that day. But
Yeah, I think
definitely fun.
it's definitely, and having those 4 seasons and all those different weather changes really, I think, shapes personalities as well, because you have to go through so many different environments. So I think that, brings people up in a different way because we see everything. It's not like we only see hot weather, so we're so accustomed to that. It's like we get to experience all of it, so we know what it's like to go outside in the morning, start your car, get all the snow off of your car. Like, it sucks, and it takes a lot of patience.
Yep.
It's cool. It builds a lot of character, and you definitely notice that around here, I think. I wanted to ask, this was going back to talking about finding your passion, doing stuff. What kind of advice would you give to someone who's, looking for that cooking, looking for that, make happiness for themselves? How would you explore to find that?
Yeah, I guess pursue. Thomas Jefferson, life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. I think he hit it. Keep pursuing, keep trying different things, get out there and really do whatever it is you think you want to do. Who cares if you've done it before? Like, I had never cooked a real steak before I went out and got some tomahawks, and I'm cooking these 4-pound just massive steaks, and I'm like, what do I do with this? So
yeah,
I mean, you can Google anything these days. You can figure stuff out, and I think it's just about the effort. Put in the effort, enjoy your success, learn from your failures, and just keep trying different things while you're out there, trying to make happiness, find happiness.
Have you had a lot of mistakes with cooking with Justin, or stuff that you've learned?
Oh yeah. I've definitely left steaks on too long. You pull them off, they're a little more well done than you'd like. You kind of learn real quick, don't do that.
Yeah.
Or do that if that's what you're going for. But you kind of learn to get a feel for the grill. You get a feel for the cast iron. You can kind of tell by length of time and amount of stuff that you've done with it. I've used the wrong spices. I threw pizza seasoning on something. It looked great, didn't taste great. I'm sitting there hyping it. I'm having a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your personal favorite preparation of steak or different meats?
My personal favorite prep on a steak, because steak is my favorite meat, I think, after working with it for a while.
Okay.
My favorite prep is probably the dry brine, honestly. I mean, it's simple, it's easy. You can just take some salt, sprinkle it on the top of a steak, and let it sit for 30, 45 minutes. I mean, that's probably the longest time I like to actually set up like a meal prep because, again, quick, easy, convenient.
Yeah.
And you can do that with steaks. It's just, wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But yeah, so when you put the salt on the steak, it actually pulls all the juices from the steak to the top. So you kind of think that you're dehydrating it, but if you let it sit long enough, those juices and the salt actually mix, and then it all backfills into the steak again.
Oh,
so the
wow.
result is, and salt is a natural flavor booster as long as you don't overdo it, because otherwise all you taste is salt. But it actually reabsorbs into the steak, and then when you sear it, those juices will actually come out to the top of it, and then you actually create a crust. It's I can't remember the word, like I'm not even gonna try.
No,
there's a word for it.
Yeah.
So when you sear the steak, you get a crust, and that crust actually seals all the juices inside the steak, which is right where you want them. So then you can do your other flip. I do a 2-flip approach. That's my personal preference. I don't think it really matters as long as you establish a solid crust, which is just a boundary so that the juices don't fall out.
Yeah.
You could flip a steak 20 times if you wanted.
Do you and you talk a lot about steaks and like the meat stuff. Is there any? I've noticed you've done a little bit, like you've done a little pasta and a little bit of salads here and there. Is there any stuff you want to explore other areas or other stuff you want to try out?
Yeah, I really want to get into seafood too.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big seafood guy. I've always enjoyed fishing.
Okay.
Kind of the freshwater lakes in Minnesota.
Go ice fishing.
Yeah, I've never caught a thing ice fishing. I've gone like 3 times. I've caught a sunny maybe. But definitely seafood is really where I'd like to expand. I'm going to continue with different cuts of beef and kind of work on getting better with beef. And seafood would be kind of my other option if I was to pick.
Yeah.
I really enjoy pork too. I mean, a good pork roast is just like, it's crazy, man.
How about gyros?
Yeah. I made a Euro breakfast sandwich, actually.
Oh, really?
That was so simple. I mean, it was just some Euro meat from the store. I mean, it was definitely just reheat this meat kind of thing. But I threw it into a breakfast sandwich, cracked some eggs on it, put some toast. I mean, it took 3 minutes, and I was extremely satisfied. So.
Yeah, I cut up some sausages and scrambled eggs. It's kind of like a little stir-fry eggs with green peppers in there, too, and cheese. It's really good.
Yeah. I mean, simple things that you can just have some fun with that are easy, and you can just, throw it in a pan, let it sit. It really doesn't take that long.
Yeah. That was another thing I wanted to talk about going into. Let's see. What do you think is the most important thing to remember when you're kind of going through those? I don't know if I want to like artistic blocks, or those like dry areas where you can't come up with anything, or you're trying to, I want to post something but I don't know what to post, or I don't want to repeat myself. How do you kind of get over those areas or those like creativity stops?
It's funny you say that. So I've hit a couple of those actually, because
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what I should do next. Like, I don't really want to go to the store. I just kind of want to be home.
Right.
And I was like, well, why should I go to the store? Let's stay in and let's do a cook what you got, not what you bought episode. And I'm not kidding you, man. I just open the fridge and start going. I've had some of the most fun times just doing cook what you got, not what you bought. And that's really how I get around, writer's block or artist block or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's great because you kind of force yourself to still perform, and you force yourself to perform with the ingredients that you don't know you have, because you haven't looked in that section of the cabinet for like the last 3 years because it's just been closed. Like I made buffalo chicken, ghost pepper, hot ham and cheese. I mean, that was ridiculous. It's just what I had, so I threw it in this bun, and I found this baguette, and
That sounds
I
insane.
did that. And then I was filming an unboxing for a knife I got in the mail, and I just all of a sudden broke into slicing this sausage, and then I sliced the sausage, and I'm like, that's cool, but what do I do with the sausage? So I threw the sausage and the onion that I just sliced into this pan, and I'm like, okay, great. Am I going to eat sausage and onion? I'm like, nah, it doesn't sound good at all. So then I opened up the cabinet, and I found some red sauce, and I'm like, hey, I could make spaghetti. I threw the red sauce in, didn't really plan, looked in all my cabinets. I didn't have spaghetti. So I kind of looked in this back portion of my other cabinet, and I found SpaghettiOs, like actual SpaghettiOs. And I'm
Yes.
sitting there and I'm filming, and like it just hit me. Bro, you can make SpaghettiOs tonight. And I was like, ah. So I'm sitting there, I'm hyping, like, I can make SpaghettiOs. Like, this is a childhood favorite, Only it was like an adult creation of a childhood favorite. And
Yeah.
it was a total blast. So like, and that night, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I just kind of picked something and was like, all right, I'm going to do an unboxing. But that kind of cascaded
Into this whole thing.
into this whole, cook what you got, not what you bought.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's really what I kind of challenge myself with whenever I'm not sure what it is I want to do on an episode or a Friday night.
That's cool. And talking about what you mentioned before, that made me think of something else when you're talking about childhood favorite, and then now it's like an adult thing, kind of going back, remembering that with our snow cave that we built out in our backyard.
I'm so
when
excited.
when we were little kids, you always want to build this big igloo and crawl inside of it. I guess it's just like a Midwest thing maybe, or Minnesota thing, but you want to have this huge thing where you can stand up inside, have your all friends in, make like a little house. But you were never able to do that.
Something you see in like TV or like cartoons or something.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
want to recreate that.
So now that we're older and we actually have the capabilities, we made a pile of snow that's probably as big as our backyard, and it's as tall as our garage, and it's like almost 6 feet tall. You can stand up inside. We got 4 chairs in there. We have a table set up and some other random stuff, and it's really cool just to see.
About to cook in that kitchen portion later.
Yeah. It's good. It's just that going, like, I got that memory, that feeling, like it's so exciting because it's like brings back those nostalgic things, or like stuff from childhood memories.
How long did it take to build that?
To get the pile of snow made. Well, here's the cool thing too. We just built the pile of snow, and then as we were digging it out, we just used the snow from the inside and piled it onto the back. So we just kept, reusing the snow we had just to make it bigger, and it worked really well. But over the week, it kind of melted a little bit. So then this morning, we had to re-dig it out and, reshape everything just because we haven't touched it all week because we were all doing normal life things. But, yeah, it should be a good time. So here's another question I was curious about. What's your favorite thing when you're doing Cooking with Justin? And then what are your least favorite things about Cooking with Justin?
My least favorite thing is the dishes. I'm gonna be honest. That
Yes.
is a pain.
I was
Like,
curious.
we have so many dishes after every episode. What I tell people is I'm trying to get, hosts at my friends' places so that I don't have to do dishes.
I saw that when he texted me earlier today when he was coming over, and he was just like, yeah, we're loud, we bring the food, but we make a mess, we don't clean up after ourselves. I was like, all right, man.
I'm totally okay to show up with some steaks, but I'm not doing the dishes, man.
Yeah.
So I think that the cleanup is kind of the hardest part because, like, you know, you're in the zone, you're having a blast. You don't really think about how you're supposed to film with, like, steak sauce on your hand or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to dry your hands off, and then you have to, you know, get ready, do your whole shoot, and then you sit down to eat, and then you kind of look around. You're like, man, why didn't I just reuse that like 3 times? Why did I keep grabbing 3 bowls instead of using the same one, you know?
You're in the zone. You don't have time to think.
Exactly. I was just free flowing. So my favorite thing, I think, is just the fun side of it. It's just the joy that I think it brings me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fun of like making a good meal that you could be proud of. It's the fun of sharing that meal with people who are close to you and people you value.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of that is kind of the best parts of it.
That's cool. When talking about shooting the videos and stuff, it brought up another question I have. How hard is it, you know, is it all one takes or do you do retakes of stuff? You know, how spontaneous is all of it or how staged is it?
Yeah, I would call 95% of it spontaneous. Pure, my first take, I always try and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll be doing something and I'll say something and then I'll kind of like half swap it because I think of something funnier or something different in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, okay, let's cut that and redo it.
Yeah.
I really do try and stick to my first take because I think it's the most authentic. I mean, I'm not pre-planning half of the things I say. I just get a little too excited and I actually mess up, but then I play it off just fine.
Right.
And that's part of my thing with those unboxings. Like, I posted one lately, and I totally said the wrong thing, and I kind of like forced myself. I reset my brain real quick, and you can kind of see me like say the wrong thing, and then like, you know, reset and then say what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I left that in there because I actually thought it was kind of funny, and you know, it's more me than something that's staged, and I don't want my show to be staged.
Yeah.
There is humor in being human.
Yeah. I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes.
That brings a lot more relatability to everyone else too, you know, because they can see that like, oh, he's not just having this picture perfect stuff like a lot of Instagram is.
It's not perfect. I can tell you all that.
Which is good. I don't think anyone should be perfect or want to be perfect because then you don't have anything to work on. If you're perfect, what do you know, there's nothing else to do. You've won.
Yeah. I think a big part of happiness too is like seeing yourself progress in the things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And like noticing like that you're hitting different milestones. And that your food, in my case, my food is tasting better. I'm learning how to do cast iron. I'm not burning everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a good time.
And I saw, you've been taking a lot more, like watching you progress, seeing your videos from the beginning to where you are now. Like, it's so cool to see how you started out and like the videos weren't as good as they are now. And you could tell you're a lot more, I guess, comfortable maybe, or, you know, you got into a rhythm. You kind of know what you're doing. You know what to say on the spot. It's a little bit, you know, I feel like you're kind of really getting into your own personality with this whole thing, which is cool to kind of watch you develop and grow.
Yeah, and I think I've kind of, you know, increased my level of confidence with what I'm cooking too. Because now when it used to be like I throw a steak down, I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there frantically Googling how long to keep it, you know, what should it look like, what should it smell like, is this going to taste okay? Like, I don't know when to flip it. And now I kind of have a better feel for it. So I think it's just confidence with repeatability. And knowing that, you know, I have these, you know, 3 or 4 sponsors that are really looking out for me.
Right. So talking about the sponsor a little bit more, do you want to continue that and like, you know, find more and continue to keep doing the sponsor videos?
Yeah, I'm really looking for, I guess, long-term partners as sponsors. I don't want to do just a one-off here and there for random companies. I don't think that's not my personality. I like to, you know, be a partner with somebody and, you know, be affiliated with that brand.
Have that longevity.
Yep, exactly. And kind of in that, like, I'm only going to represent brands that I actually believe in and that I enjoy using.
Like you see him wearing that Make Happiness sweatshirt?
Yeah, I rock that Make Happiness sweatshirt as often as I can, my man. Just to try and, you know, get that other level of connectivity to everybody out there.
That's really cool. So I know Eli, he's kind of never heard of Cooking with Justin or anything before until today. Now, after hearing all his conversations, I'm curious what your thoughts are, or like if you're going to go look up his stuff or like...
I got it up on my computer right now.
Really?
Yeah, I've just been like looking at all these
totally
posts.
Does.
It's not Instagram, but it's a it's a thing that kind of shows someone's Instagram page, and I've just been like looking at all the posts and seeing all these things, and I really never like cook ever. I mean, I make like breakfast stuff, like I'll scramble eggs and like cook bacon or whatever, but I mean, I've never really go into the...
Hey, try that maple sugar bacon though. Easy. Just toss some brown sugar and maple syrup on your bacon. It's phenomenal.
That's something that I do is I have maple syrup with my bacon. It's delicious.
Yeah. Throw some brown sugar in the mix.
Nice. I'll give that a shot. Actually, there's some right on top of my fridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never actually really got into like, kind of like, deeper cooking. I've never tried it. My brother does it, and my mom does it, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't get that gene or something like that. But
it's just a lot of work. I'm lazy. I'm like,
yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, the dishes. Ooh, cleaning up after the party.
Yeah.
That's why, like, a lot of my, I make the same stuff every day. I probably should change up my diet more than I was curious about that too. Have you gained weight since you've been just constantly eating food?
You sound like my buddy Andre. He texts me, he's like, bro, are you hitting the gym? Like, yes, Andre. He's like, okay, good. So I have a lifetime membership, and I do try and go. I've been bad about it since I launched Cooking with Justin because I'm putting so much time and effort into that.
Yeah.
When I get home from work, I'm like, all right, I'm going to put another 3 to 4 hours into my page. I'm going to check out what other people are doing on Instagram and kind of see, where I should take things, maybe what I should cook, and find some ideas. So I've definitely, and then pretty soon it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I don't really want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
But starting March 1st, starting today, March 2nd, I'm gonna hit 12 to 15 times at the gym each month just to make sure that I don't start gaining a bunch of weight from just eating all this great stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause it's easy to do, man. I've toyed with the idea of doing like a month of keto or a month of a different fitness trend type thing, or like a different food idea.
Yeah.
Just to try and like experience, I guess, different flavors, just to
continue
to grow as a home cook and all that. So
that would be cool. Yeah, I notice it's a lot of work to doing those side things, always coming up with creation stuff. I know with Make Happiness, I've recently, because I've been trying to get done with school and I have an internship I'm going for and all these other things, and with work it's like I haven't been able to spend as much time with Make Happiness as I would like to, but the priorities right now are like, let's get done with school, let's focus on this, and then Make Happiness will come later. So it's cool to hear that perspective, like you're spending 3-4 hours a day just doing research. It's like, that's insane.
I'm scrolling through Instagram checking out pictures, like I call that market research.
Still, man, that's a long time.
Yeah, included in that is probably editing posts and seeing all my content, be like, all right, how do I make something interesting out of all this instead of just throwing this jumbled mess together? I want to make something that's fluid.
Yeah,
kind of brings you through the steps.
So do you like upload your videos and then edit stuff on a program too?
Yeah, I use Splice editing. It's all on my phone, so it's
nice.
just it's all on the phone. Everything saves to photos, and then from photos I can import into Splice. And Splice is great. You can cut, you can crop, you can speed up or slow down different videos. It's all free too.
Nice.
Wow.
And you can export directly to Instagram. I always save it directly to my phone, and then I upload from phone to Instagram. Just because I don't know, I've never done it the other way.
Oh, that's fair. Maybe it's just like you're having that peace of mind because maybe it might not get uploaded correctly or whatever.
Yeah, that happens too. So I've started copying basically everything I type out, because I've uploaded posts, and then all of the words that you type into it, all the tags, all your comments, they all disappear.
Yeah, so that's when you have too many hashtags.
That does happen.
Yeah.
I get carried away, man. I
Same
just start
here.
tagging things. I'm having a blast.
I forgot the limit. I think it's like 30 or something. I don't know what the number is, but I know you can only have a certain amount of hashtags, otherwise it'll erase everything.
Yep. So I've been copying it just in case that happens.
Yeah, same here. I do the same thing.
There are several hashtags on some of these posts.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it, you should tag everything you possibly can. You should hit the max, because you want to get your content to as many areas as you can.
Oh, yeah.
Try and reach the widest
It makes
breadth.
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff that's relatable. All the
Exactly.
hashtags are in that same, idea of what you're about.
Yeah.
I suppose you always probably hashtag steak or cooking with Justin, like you have your
Yeah.
person, or like the hashtags that you use all the time.
Yep. Yeah, I tag Cooking with Justin every time, and if I have a sponsor in the video that I'm cooking, or the meal I just made, then I like to tag that sponsor too, to make sure I'm continuously putting the plug out for them, and letting everybody know, like, hey, this is some good stuff.
So how about the hashtag Cooking Without Justin?
I'm okay with that, actually. I think it's funny. My buddies, they made that one, and they threw some chicken wings on this grill, and it was a New Year's party, and I was a couple miles away, and I got this snap. I'm like, get after it, guys. They are accomplishing exactly what I'm setting out to do, which is have fun while you cook. So whether it's cooking with Justin, cooking without, like, you're still cooking and you're still having a blast. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Because I know Alex did a little one too. I don't know what he made, but it was funny because he was having a lot of fun with it, like taking the videos and sending it, putting it on his story, tagging you in it.
Yeah, it's that's what it's all about again, like just having a good time in the kitchen and like making food and enjoying it. It's not supposed to be this chore that like you get home, you're like, man, I gotta make food. It's like, yeah, I'm home. I don't even know what I have in my fridge, but let's open it up and let's throw it down.
Yeah.
Kind of see what you can make.
I was wanted to ask about this too. Your voice just did it a little bit. You get into those little like, I don't even know what you want to call them, like playoff voices or like accents. Is there a reasoning behind it, or like is it just where your mind goes? It's where your voice goes.
I think it's just getting too hyped up as I start
Burst of
rolling.
excitement.
Honestly, a
Yeah.
burst of excitement. I would call it that. I start talking and then I don't know. I just kind of hit this free flow, and the mic captures it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna post that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I think that helps a lot though. Having those little like we're doing a drop or like those little things that you do. It's just that part differentiates, and it's also like cool. It's fun. It's interesting, and it's different. Like that's a really cool thing. I think that helps you separate yourself from any other cooking show on Instagram.
Yeah, because I don't have a professional culinary background or anything. I took 2 courses in high school.
Yeah.
I'm just out here having a good time, and again, it's about having fun. It's about making happiness. It's about finding that thing that you enjoy.
Which is awesome. I was curious if there was any topics or anything else you want to touch on the podcast. Any other things that we missed?
I guess I'd like to just point out that it's a family-friendly show, and kind of I think that's important to be applicable to all ages, children, young adults, and older generations. And that kind of was cemented on a phone call yesterday with California Blending, who's a spice manufacturer, and he was telling me about how he kind of picked me to reach out to and like ask me to help promote his company and his brand.
Yeah.
And the whole reasoning behind it was that the other, I guess, contender, if you will, he posted something that was distasteful, and the owner of this company didn't appreciate it because he has daughters and sons, and he didn't want them to see content like that coming out of anything that's associated with his company.
Sure.
So then he kind of is like, all right, I'm going to call Justin up because, this guy's having fun. He's friendly. He's cooking things that are just kind of interesting.
Yeah, anyone can watch it.
Yeah. And then I'd also like to just shout out Ren and Boss Beef. These guys are fantastic. They are local ranchers in Texas. He runs 2 different breeds of cows on his ranch, VR Cattle Company. And he's also working with different ranches in Colorado and other areas of Texas.
Wow.
And the whole goal of Ren and Boss is to really bring specific cuts and specific fed beef to people's doors, and to bring some light around the whole fact that there's 800 and plus breeds of cows and steers and animals in the well, let me start that over. There's 800 different kinds of beef out there, and everybody calls it all one word, which is beef. People just think it's cows. People just think beef and steak. But really, you could have a grass-fed Angus, Wagyu, American-grown steer from this region of Texas, and it could taste completely different than something that's grown in Colorado and something that's raised in Colorado.
Right.
It's the elevations, it's the areas that the animals are from, it's
That's
what
really
they're
cool.
fed. It's like another level of detail.
Have you noticed that when, did he send you different areas or different regions of stuff, or did it taste different from what you've had previously?
Yeah, so my first box, I've only done 1 box so far. My first box was all Angus from Texas, and it tastes better than I'm going to call it the
Cub
vending
Foods or
machine.
whatever,
Yeah, like hitting the grocery store and just picking up a steak.
The vending machine.
The vending machine of meat, man. So I'm all about the Ren and Boss. I've joined the movement. I've definitely bought in on that. It's fun. It's something. It's another level of connection to know where your beef comes from and the people who create it, and get the opportunity to talk to that ranch or that person or that. I guess it's another level of connection, and that's again where that certificate of authenticity kind of it rings back in. You're connected to the ranch that your animal comes from. You kind of have a greater respect for it too. It's not just something that's, I guess, been disrespected and stuck on a shelf somewhere.
Mass, I don't even know what you like, slaughter farms, those huge industrial stuff. It's like, it's cool that it's way more, like you're saying, connected, and you're involved in it.
Yeah.
I really respect that. And I was curious too, like I'm kind of interested now you talking about it. It makes me want to go try it. Where can I find it?
Yeah, so Ren and Boss, they have a link on their page on Instagram.
Okay.
I also link to them as my top brand and top contributor on my profile. So
that's awesome.
either way,
Are-
follow them, check them out.
When you mentioned that too about the cows and stuff, this question popped in my head, kind of a weird one, but could you see yourself owning a couple chickens at your place and like, having some home eggs and like?
I don't know if I would go as far as to own a chicken coop or anything like that, but I mean, side gardens for rosemary and thyme and like sage and like real herbs. I would totally get into like an herb garden.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a blast.
No vegetables?
Maybe some veggies actually, because I keep going to the store and buying real veggies, a little more expensive than the microwave ones you can just throw in. So
yeah, I saw that you brought some real ones over today.
yeah, I know it's a big cook though. This is the Make Happiness special.
There you go. Cool, man. Well, yeah, we got to get cooking pretty soon.
Yeah.
Do you have any last final thoughts, Eli, or anything you want to shout out to the people listening?
I don't not specifically. I think I just had like one question about sponsorship thing. Was like, how did you start doing that? Like reaching out for sponsorships and stuff like that, and working with these companies.
Yeah. So I went through one of my market research kicks where I just kind of laid on the couch and started scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, hey, there's people promoting things on here, and I never really thought about doing that. I started, just direct messaging or sending emails or calling if I could, different companies and be like, hey guys, I'm interested in representing your brand. Here's what I do. I want to hear a little bit about you guys. Let's talk. Kitchen Caddy was actually the first one who was like, yeah, dude, I've been there. I cooked frozen pizzas and ramen noodles too in college. Like, check it out, have some fun. And those guys were the first ones to, I guess, take the chance with me, which was great because, I was able to say, hey, I'm representing something that's a little bit bigger than myself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm growing my channel in a way that I want to. And that's how unboxings came about and, steak slicing videos and stuff like that. Like, I didn't think I'd be doing unboxings,
Yeah.
So, but it's been a blast.
Cool.
How excited were you when you got that first Kitchen Caddy box in the door?
I called everybody. I called people. I'm like, guys, I just got this box. And I called my buddy Joe, and he's like, dude, unbox it. I'm like, what? He goes, you know what it is? Do one. And I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And I sent it to him afterwards, and he's just like, you are ridiculous, bro. Good job. Just keep it off, whatever. So
that's cool.
It's been a blast.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a blast. I want to thank everyone else for watching as well, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. I don't know. I think that's all I got. So,
yeah,
right on.
Thanks for hosting me, guys. I really do appreciate Ian and Eli.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it was a perfect fit. When we were talking, like earlier this week, Danny was talking about like, oh, you should get Justin on the podcast, and I was like, that would be sick. And then we could do a Cooking with Justin with Make Happiness, like just both ways.
I wore the sweatshirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited to see where you're going, and it should be fun.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, take care, everyone. Always remember to make some happiness and keep cooking. Make some steaks. Do something good for yourself.
Check out the channel.